Hello, friends. We continue our lectures, short lectures about negation. Second step. Today we will talk about negation in contrast with the formal understanding this notion. And usually we think that when something will destroy, when something we deny, it means that some external cause create this activity and external cause make the negation of this phenomenon or thing, for example. But according with its formal way of thinking, its abstract way of thinking, according with the dialectical way of thinking, we can say it is not so. It is more um, abstract way than it is happen in reality. In reality, the negation, it is the working, it is working from internal sphere. External, it is always only sign of something what happened in me, in mine, in my own nature. When somebody, something or somebody broke, uh, strike me, it's always only expression, or we can say objectivation or embodiment, my internal processes, what happened in my own nature. It is, of course, like a process of synchronization, external and internal processes. But it is so if we talk about different situations, for example, society, in our usual life, and etc. We will talk about these. Okay, but the first idea consists in this moment. My internal process of development, it is process of self-negation, always, because we have our own limits of our life, of our content, of our essence. And that's why when I develop these content, my essence, nature, I always develop and my negation in the same moment. That's why it is always like process synchronization with something what will negate me. Okay, what I mean if we talk about these by scheme. Okay, we start to develop our content, and we always do it by negation something another. My content, it is something what I find in this sphere, and I do it by negation, denying something external. Yes, it is external and internal. External and internal. Okay, very good. I have and develop my own content by externalization and negation in the same moment. External content matter. And when I complete the work of self statement, when I express possibility, all possibilities, all capacities, all opportunity for realization, I have situation where we find starting another process. It is not always have a like direct way from this to this. Yes, in reality, uh, we can find situation when something only external move to my side without any real correlation with my nature. But we always do it in synchronical process with external process and phenomena. That's why what happened here. I state my essence, my being, my nature by negation external sphere. Not all, but very specific spheres of these. For example, I'm eating and that's why I have my life. What is eating? It is negation of something external by what I reproduce my life. Yes. And in other situation, you can represent in your mind how you want. And the same principle, of course, the same principle. Okay, I negate something external, but what happened in this moment? You remember it's mirror, right? Like metaphor of dialectical negation. It is moment where I, after my absolute self-realization, I transform another side of my own nature. It's mean that this line, it is not only plus for me. This line would lie in center of my nature. It's my definition, right? Like at center, this line, it is symbol of my self-definition. This line in the same moment, it is external line to my definition. Yes, to my positive content, positive definition. I can state my positive content only by external life, only by external sphere. And what happened here? Sphere of negation, dialectical negation. We change position in controversial sides. What it mean? This line, it is the same line. And I'll count what happened here, start and begin, develop it like positive content. Yes, what before was like external, here start like internal. I transform it inside. And only this content strike and push and broke previous. It is synchronical process. Only my own nature create the enemy for myself. Only me create my enemies. It is always synchronic, all these process. Okay. And after that, I complete realization this content. Before it is external, here it will be internal, of course, process. And what was internal realize itself like external. Yes, the same. We transform it radically. It's radical transformation. Okay. And you remember that this is ISIS. These ISIS show us that we always in dialectical or speculative logic must hold both processes like something whole, like something one. In unity, we must hold all these process of transformation. Okay. Let we, if we will talk about examples, you all remember about the yin yang from China culture. And you find here, of course, the very good illustration about what I talk. Yes, this is point. It is external for me. It's part of my own nature by what I state and accept and realized the internal content. Yes, internal content. Yes. And what happened when I realized, oh, my essence? I find the starting of realization, the potentiality by negation of what I state my internal nature, positive nature. Yes. And here we find another element. And again, when I complete the realization, we find here, of course, it will be external. Yes. Of course, it is like metaphor for explanation because it is not external. It is already internal process. But I mean that it is the same, the same essence, right? And here, of course, it is external. But really, what was internal here, it's like, and etc. Cycle, but it's cycle, not cycle, because it's cycle of development. We find something new when we repeat this point of negation. It's mean that when I have a thesis and denying, negate it, I have antithesis. When I deny and negate antithesis, I must to return to the first position, but this first position will be another. It will be new thesis, for example, one or A, yes. And after we repeat the cycle again. It's process of the development. But always we have negation only like realization my own nature, another side of my own essence. This is another side, my alter ego of my ego, right? Alter ego of my ego. Me and my enemy, enemy it's alter ego of mine. That's why. Okay, let we show different examples about what we talk, not from culture and religion, but if we talk about psychology and history, for example, yes. Um, okay, okay. The first example is psychological, irrational example of irrational hostility when I not like, not want to have a communication of with somebody, and I feel bad feelings to this person, and I don't know why. I only feel it, and I can't. If, for example, you will ask me why you feel it, oh, I will do. I will say and talk very many things, and nevertheless, I will not know really why. Why it's so. We create and choose our own enemies. It is really realization this way. It means that controversial position, it's like different sides of the something honest. Yes. Okay, the first step. Second step, it will be about several words. But the first step and first realization, first explanation, it is this way. Oh, it's funny picture you see here. Oh, it's straighter, of course. Why? Why it's straighter? Because it is too big. It's like me, but he realized another essence, controversial essence. We talk about integration between essences, beings, what we find here and here. And that's why we can say that it is controversial. Yes, we can say that development of one side always realized in another. And for example, here we can find, maybe not always, realization of transformation of previous content. Yes. Okay. If we talk about civil wars, here we find a picture, meaning in Pajarski, it's two heroes who unite Russia during civil war period of troubles, center of troubles. That's very ancient period in history. and it is the person who realized of liberation the Moscow from Polish invaders in 1612. Um, what I mean when what I mean when I talk about the Civil War, like illustration of this principle awaken that external enemy it's only sign of something what happened in myself. The Civil War it is situation self-negation in reality. Civil war it's mean that the one part of the same society have a conflict with another. It is internal conflict. What it mean? It's mean that always in this situation, civil war, we find external invasions and we find somebody who take one part in this conflict. You realize it here like another side of the same essence. For example, this society. That's why we can say that our enemy, our enemy, it is the sign of the internal conflict, firstly, and it is embodiment of the one side in my society. Only when we have a good health of society, we can solve the problem internal conflict without embodiment from external sides. It's really when I not solve the problem of internal conflict by negation in other side. No, I include and transform the society when we have so many, so much health, so strong health that I can include another side of my own essence. And by that, I can develop my essence. I can develop uh, self nature. That's why it's so important have an open society, but maybe not how it realized the theoreticals and ideologicals of this idea of open society. Firstly, I mean not Soros or Popper. Firstly, I mean, for example, Bergson, who firstly talked about this idea of open society. Open society, it is society with the health, who can include alter ego of the ego of society. Okay, and finally, I show you this quote from short report of Herbert Marcuse, who was materialist and Marxist, and he tried transform of this understanding. And he, if we talk about, for example, idealistic and materialistic approach, yes, we talk, for example, that according with the idealistic approach, the internal conflict, the first, it is first cause, and external, it is second. Internal conflict first, external embodiment of this conflict, it is second. But according with Herbert Marcuse, and he developed theory of Marx, he transformed this relation, and he talked what? The power of denial, negation, yes, grows from outside firstly, yes, and not by the captures that have not yet captured by aggressive and productivity and so-called society of abundance. And only after that, yes, materialistic approach, say what? Okay, second, not third. Materialistic approach, according with Marxism, according with Marcuse, talk another. first cause external, yes, by forces what not yet been captured, yes, by capitalism. And second, it is opportunity for realization. It is this line to move into, yes. First, cause. Second, it is opportunity. But if we talk about dialectic of Hegel, of course, it is the first way. It is idea of synchronization, internal process and external processes. Always we must hold this process of synchronization, speculative vision of development in society. Speculative, it means that it is not direct relation between cause and effect. Internal processes realize opportunity. And after that, of course, we attract to itself the external causes, what only realize the internal opportunity, internal essence. Yes, that's why. That's why if we talk about idealistic and materialistic approach, according with the dialectic vision in wholeness, we find the same principle, but with different accent on different sides. But the principle, the same. That's why I show you this quote. We can realize this principle in other ways, but the idea will be the same. Thank you for your attention, and I hope it was interesting and useful. Thank you.